Let's see. Oh, wait. So Dan Tavius yesterday released a video, and it's called "Ranking YouTubers Based on Their Controversies." Now, just so you guys know, Dan Tavius is my what do they call it? My abandoned son or my estranged son. He kind of looks like a little bit like Gonzo, and I look a little bit like Dan from Roseanne. So I guess we're all good. All right, let's just we're all insulted. Let's get into this.
Against all odds, they said.
Whoa! Thank you for the 10 gifted subs, brother.
101 just gifted 10 subs.
Thank you so much, my man. Here's a kiss. Mwah. Let's get into this.
Never be back. They said Dan Tavius, that schmuck, he's never gonna show his face on YouTube again. He's never gonna do another tier list.
I believe
I'm proving them wrong today. Anyways, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm gonna be ranking YouTubers based on their controversies.
Okay.
So here's how we're gonna do this. People move up the ranks based on the severity and also the notoriety of their controversies. So for example, if somebody did something that wasn't necessarily that bad, but everybody knew about it and all the news stations were talking about it, that's gonna move them up the ranks a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, you guys know I don't like to waste time on intros,
so this seems to be more focused on the severity of it, not necessarily the authenticity of it.
Let's get right.
Let's see if he gives us his commentary.
David Dobrik. It's kind of funny. Everybody just forgot about all the messed up things he did, like almost killing his best friend due to his own negligence, being involved with somebody getting essayed, and just all around being a douchebag. I'm gonna go ahead and give him an S.
Here's what I will say though: like the David Dobrik situation to me is very representative of our of a social experiment that is YouTube. This is a social media age. These are people who grew up on social media, and he definitely was involved in some really disgusting things. The problem is that he doesn't realize, or at the very least he didn't realize, that they were disgusting at the time that he did that. Because like that was okay. It was all pranks. Nobody cared. It was all stupid. You had an internet space that was like not regulated by real adults, allowing him to do things like renting like a fucking some kind of machinery without a license and swinging it around and almost killing his friends. And so like, do I think that he's like a shitty person? I honestly do. But do I think that he thought what he was doing was wrong? No. And I do think that intents are as important as the action itself. And I'm not trying to excuse the gross shit he did. But it is an important aspect when you talk about anything.
Paul, his most famous controversy was the Japanese forest thing, and a lot of people seem to think that he's a changed man, a better man. But just 2 weeks ago, he tried peddling a pump and dump shitcoin scheme to scam his fans out of money. So
it's true, I lost a lot of money.
Schmuck, and I'll give him an A. It's kind of funny. Most of these people have their own controversies tab on Wikipedia. Jeffree Star, man, this guy's always getting into some shit.
What'd he do?
On top of saying some really racist things in the past, he's also been accused.
He's gay, so it's okay, right? You can be racist as long as you're gay. That seems to be it.
Accused of assaulting people.
But if you say something a little homophobic and you're black, you're gonna get removed from a bunch of events, even though you're a rapper that literally makes songs about, bitches and hoes and disrespecting women, and but that's okay. But if you make an offhanded comment and then apologize for it, that's not okay. The baby.
When he even paid people off to stay quiet. I think that merits him an S. Ethan Klein, it's been very trendy to hate on him these last few years.
That's true.
I get it. The guy's a hypocrite. He spews uninformed nonsense sometimes. He has some horrendous takes on certain things. But
true.
When you compare him to some of the other people on this list, he's a saint, all right? Because as far as I know, he's never harassed or assaulted anybody. He's never scammed anybody. He's never ruined anybody's lives.
That's true.
Now, I agree that
he's just a dumb fat white guy, which is me too, so you know what?
Deserves a lot of the criticism he gets, but I think the hate for him is overblown, so I'm going to put him in C.
All right, so I thought we established that this was about the severity of their cases, or rather the notoriety of their case, not the way that you feel. You just established a rule set. What the fuck are we doing?
Mr. Beast, the only thing I can think of that he's been accused of is being a dick to his employees. So he's basically every manager ever.
Yeah, give him an F.
It's all hearsay. It's not proven, but even if it was, it doesn't even come close to some of these other people, so I'm going to put him in F. Keemstar, I've said it before, and I'll say it again.
Keemstar's a scumfuck loser, bro.
And this man is one of the biggest pieces of shite on the entire internet.
And you want to know what? Like, he had an involvement with Etika killing himself. He canceled Carson for doing absolutely nothing wrong. I don't like Keemstar more than like most of the other people on this list, other than somebody like EDP, because Keemstar is a fucking grown man, right? So David Dobrik did shitty things when he was like, what, 18, 19, 20? You're a dumb kid. And it doesn't mean it's okay, but we can take that into context. Keemstar's like fucking 40. How old is Keemstar? Keemstar is a grown man. And, like, you have a different set of expectations. He's 39. You have a different set of expectations. Jesus Christ, thank you so much for another 5 years of subs.
Opinion 101 just gifted 5 subs.
You're a 39-year-old man. You have a different set of expectations to hold up to. You don't get to go around suggesting to people that are very clearly mentally ill that maybe they should just kill themselves. You don't get to go around and say that 19-year-olds and a 17-year-old sleeping together is sexual assault and predatory, even though you refuse to establish age. That's one of the factors. You didn't even establish the age. You just kind of skirted right over that. Even though you knew that the age was only 2 years, you just used the adult and minor tags to try to make it seem like it was bad as possible. Because when you hear an adult sub of the minor or interacted with one, you think of a 30 and a 15-year-old, not a 19 and 17-year-old. A lot of people bought into this shit, despite the fact that he's a rape apologist that said, "Why can't you just close your mouth if you're getting raped in the mouth?" Right? People still trusted him, and what ends up happening is like this phenomenon where people double down. So now that they already agreed, but now they're wrong because Keemstar's a fucking idiot. But instead of being like, "Oh, I was wrong, my bad, Keemstar is a loser," they move the goalpost to another area. It's like, well, actually, it's a abuse of power dynamic. Shut the fuck up! Like, you're completely uneducated on the Carson situation. He didn't leverage his platform to hurt anybody. This is just Carson, that is. This guy's a real scum loser.
Why am I still getting hate?
From doxing multiple people to belittling mental illness and sexual assault to straight up ruining people's lives by accusing them of pedophilia. He's an absolute schmuck, and I'm gonna put him in S for schmuck. Dream. He cheated on Minecraft speedruns. Who gives a shit?
Honestly.
Shane
yeah.
Dawson. Oh, hang on. Sorry. No. Shane Dawson.
He picked up Onision.
He's done.
My understanding is Shane Dawson fucked a cat or something, and he said some really gross shit about young people. But, like, I guess that was kind of his humor back then, so I would say it's somewhat forgivable. It's just creepy and gross.
Done blackface in the past. He said the N-word, and he said some unsavory jokes about underage people.
Just a typical white guy, honestly. But all jokes aside, like, it is one of those things with Shane Dawson is like, and I'm not super educated on him, but in the past, in the past, those things were acceptable. And, like, it doesn't mean that they're okay now or that they were even okay then. But I find it interesting that, like, Shane Dawson's own audience turned on him even though they loved that content in the past. And that's one of the things that always gives me, like, it kind of pisses me off, is that you'll have people who support somebody actively because they like the content that's inappropriate, but then once it becomes socially inappropriate, they flip and they're like, that's terrible. How could you do that? Where were you then? Oh, you were enjoying the inappropriate content. So why are you acting like a fucking saint? That's one of the things that bothers me.
Which resulted in the demonetization of all 3 of his channels. Now, while the things he did were definitely bad,
you got Joey Salads in there.
It has not come out that he has actually done anything to anybody. So for that reason,
give him like a B. Come on, he deserves a little lower.
Tana. We all remember TanaCon. We all remember how much of a disaster it was. But recently, she's also been peddling shitcoins, and I will not stand for that.
I don't know anything about that fake-titted bitch, so I don't really know what to say.
But she has been able to fly under the radar recently with all of her controversies. So for that reason, I'll put her in B. Austin McBroom from the Ace family. Now, this guy is a real piece of work. A real son of a gun, if you will. From exploiting his kids for views, to faking a robbery for views, to straight up scamming his fans multiple times.
In reality, like,
this is a Jesse Smollett of YouTube. What the fuck?
you guys got scammed.
This guy not only belongs in S tier, but he belongs in a medium security prison.
I mean, I feel like based on the other people in S tier, he might not belong that high, but okay. I don't really know too much about them.
Austin, you fucking putz. SS Sniper Wolf. Where do I start with
Bro, what are you talking about? She was in Darman. Give her an F. What did she do wrong, though, bro?
Let's start with armed robbery. I think that's a good jumping off point.
Hey, listen, I'm not trying to be an asshole. When did that happen? 2013? If this was before her career or whatever, you engage in armed robbery. That's not a good thing. But if you get arrested and you go to jail, like, we're supposed to be like, okay, you served your time, now it's time to get out. You know what I mean? You kind of have to stay consistent. I believe that people who go to jail for, like, issues, when you come out, you're supposed to be coming out reformed. And one of the problems with our mentality as a society is, like, people will go to jail and they'll come out and they'll be reformed, and then people will look down on them so they can't get other opportunities or, like, job opportunities, and then they go back into the situation that they were doing before because people are looking down on them. You kind of see what I'm saying? So, you know, I mean, it's shitty, but if she got, it looks like she got arrested, you know, the only thing that I would say is that she's guilty of using too much makeup, because she doesn't quite look, you know, maybe she's like a 7 here. You know?
Some of the shady things she's done is she's called out girls on Twitch for being thoughts when she was exhibiting the exact same type of behavior. She was hitting on another guy while she had a boyfriend, and when she was exposed for it, denied everything.
That's kind of normal, bro. Like, I live in the real world. This shit unfortunately happens all the time. I honestly, this seems like kind of petty stuff to me.
Even though there was text evidence. She's also known to just be generally toxic. Like, check out this clip from Nerd City's excellent video on her.
I mean, she's a gamer, bro. You know what I mean?
Ugly fucking.
Why would you call someone you don't even know ugly if you have to put people down to make yourself video? You're scum. Okay, that sounds nice. And grouping me in with all the other YouTube sluts just because I have the tits. Okay. LOL mad. If I'm done, you're mentally retarded. Okay. Sorry. I'm a child. Dumb whore. Suck up to bigger YouTubers for attention. Okay. Well, I don't know the context there. Why does every female on YouTube hate you? Just the ugly ones. Okay. I mean, it's not that bad. It's not really that bad.
Mexican bitch with a big ass nose and bushy ass eyebrows.
Jesus Christ. I can't read all these.
On her.
Ugly
Wait, let me just listen to the audio.
Mexican bitch with a big ass
Well,
nose
that's
and bushy
racist.
ass eyebrows.
Jesus Christ.
You said I have low self-esteem. Are you fucking kidding me, you stupid cunt? Go fucking kill yourself.
I didn't.
Wow, that part's too much. But, like, I'm not trying to be rude. I just grew up in a video game era, and, like, this is pretty standard video game stuff. So, but you know what? It seems to be worse than I thought. You know.
I didn't know any of this stuff before I started making a video on her.
I'll give her a B.
I'll give her a B for
Okay,
the same reason
yeah.
I gave Tana a B, because she's somehow flied under the radar with all her shitty behavior. Gabby freaking Hanna, man. This girl is a little
Bro,
bit...
I don't know what's going on with Gabby Hanna. She's insane. I don't understand the story. I don't understand it. It's just so complicated. I tried listening to the 3-hour like phone call. I don't get it. Like she's crazy. I just don't understand what she's done. Like, I need like a comprehensive layout of everything that's going on, and I can't find it. I can't.
A little bit, you know, how do I say this without being offensive? Mentally deficient.
I'm acting different.
Well, she said that she actually was acting different intentionally. She said she was...
She falsely accused Rice Gum of hitting her. She falsely accused Trisha Paytas of having herpes.
Well, listen. Listen. The herpes thing, from my understanding of it, I'm not going to give Gabby too much shit. Because from what my understanding is that Gabby Hanna told somebody that Trisha might have been blasting that she might have herpes privately. So, like, listen, if I was going to engage with a girl and she might have had herpes, and I would want somebody to tell me. Give me an informed decision. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like it's inappropriate to not tell somebody. Because if Trisha did have herpes, and I don't really know if she did have herpes and she intentionally didn't say anything, that's a really bad violation. That's actually like, I would say that's some form of like assault, not sexual assault. But like, if you're actively going to give somebody herpes, you're not going to tell them, that's bad. You're hurting them for the rest of their life. And I do know that for something, maybe it was syphilis or something, that made it so that Trisha can't have babies because her whole vagina thing is corrupt. So sorry, they're saying it the worst way possible, and I'm terribly sorry for being insensitive. But apparently she's barren now. So I don't know. I'm not going to give Gabby too much shit for that. I might just not know the whole story, but I also just fucking unpaused.
She scammed her fans with some fake low-quality Chinese makeup brushes.
I don't think that she scammed them. She was just like a little shitty about it, right? So she's like, oh, you get $80 value for free or something. And then they were really shitty. And then she was like, well, you should expect them to be shitty. Like, they were free. And it's like her response was like really shitty. She was being a bitch, but like also as an adult, like yeah, I mean if you're gonna get $80 value for free, I'm not falling for it. I mean like that doesn't make any sense, you know.
And on top of all of that, she hung out with the guy who raped her best friend.
That part is weird to me because like I'm apparently they weren't even friends at the time it happened. I don't know about the story. I just don't know.
Please get some help, all right? Sam Pepper, more like Scam Pepper.
Yeah,
this guy rose to infamy back in the golden age of YouTube pranks, where he staged a kidnapping of some kid's brother and staged a murder in front of him.
Oh.
You got the wrong guy. No, he's everything I have.
Was that real?
Oh my god.
Fuck you, you scum prick!
I mean,
Is that real? Holy shit, Sam Pepper, you scumbag. I just remember him, I think, from those kissing pranks where it's like, oh, mommy makeout day? You know what I mean? I used to jerk off to that. I didn't do that. That was a joke.
obviously the whole thing was fake, but it was still very heavy. More recently, he's been involved in a crypto pump and dump that was so egregious that he had to flee the country. If you want to find out more about this and other influencers pump and dump shitcoin schemes, watch my video on it.
That's the speculation, is that Sam Pepper escaped the country. This motherfucker sold his Tesla, like his leased Tesla, and he fucking dipped. And he's like, actually, I was just leaving to see my family, and it was already predetermined. It's like, I don't know, bro. You didn't just go see your family. You sold your Tesla. What are you talking about?
Joey Salads. This man has really disappeared off the face of the internet.
He pissed in his mouth.
He was known for doing fake and frankly racist pranks back in the day.
It's true. Joey Salads actually is trying to run for Congress, I think, in New York. Joey Saladino. He's trying to run for Congress because I remember seeing him on TikTok and whatnot, and he lives in New York. Look at that. He's a MAGA guy. See? Undercover BLM protest, guys. I'm going to pay black people to attack a car that says MAGA on it. That's kind of basically Joey Salads. That's pretty much what Joey Salads does. So. Just letting you know. Anyway, let's get into that.
But now he's just completely faded into irrelevance. Last I heard, he was running for Congress against AOC, but that...
I don't think it was against AOC. I think that AOC... Was it? Is she in the 2nd district? No, 14th district. I think he's the 11th district. I don't know. I think he's the 11th district. Yeah, he's the 11th district. So he wasn't going, I think. He wasn't going up against AOC.
That didn't work out too well. Then he got banned off Twitter, so I'll give him an A simply because of this picture, and I know
Jesus Christ.
It's out of context, but this still got him into a lot of shit. Onision, it would take me 4 hours
Bro, I feel like
long videos just to scratch the surface.
Onision is probably the worst person on this list, and I do see EDP
on all the messed up things this guy's done. Grooming gets you an automatic S tier.
It's not even just grooming. I mean, it's like getting people, young girls with broken homes, to like come to your house so that you can groom them to prep them for sex when they turn old enough, and then emotionally and physically abusing them. Like, it's bad. It is horrible what he did to some of these people. You should go look into it. Like, I think Repzion or Reptilian, what the fuck his name is. That's a good person to look into.
Call me Carson. Again, sexting your underage fans gets you an automatic S, you absolute putz.
Dude, that's just such a dumb perspective. 19 and 17. I hate saying the term underage fan. He was 19 and they were 17. I hate it when people do that. Underage. Stop. Just stop. There's no issue with a 2-year age gap. It's perfectly legal. It's really not that big of a deal. And people need to just chill the fuck out. It's just not a big deal. It's dumb.
FaZe K. On top of looking like a used butt plug, this guy has run multiple pump and dump schemes.
The Carson position is just like not good.
Scammed his fans out of thousands of dollars while enriching himself.
That's
an
L.
A tier. Hey guys, sorry to interrupt, but I think right now in the middle of this video is the perfect time to talk about this video sponsor, Skillshare. If you've been on YouTube,
check it out.
You have of I'm back. I'm back. Obvious that based on their.
Oh, the fuck! Oh, I restarted it instead of just
a
going.
lot of headaches when I was first starting.
Blah 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 blah
Better
blah
deal-
blah 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 blah.
Most-
All right, back into this.
States population. This girl is always beefed with at least 30% of the United States population. This
That's
girl
true.
is always involved in some sort of drama with somebody. Her most well-known controversy is a video where she came out as a chicken nugget, which people found to be offensive towards the trans community. More recently, she was found saying some extremely horrendous things to her co-host Ethan Klein. I'll give her an A because she's done and said some pretty nasty stuff. I mean, I'll give her some credit for trying to change, but mental illness can only excuse so much of your actions.
I mean, I don't know that she's trying to change at all. I mean, I've looked into her a lot. Like, she's an intentionally like manipulative bitch. But okay.
But you know, I hope she does continue to improve in the future. You know, best to her. But she still gets an A. FaZe Banks. This man looks like he brings beer to high school parties.
I don't really know
He
who
was
that
recently
is. I think he's not. Is he even part of FaZe anymore?
Involved in another crypto pump and dump scheme, while at the same time calling out other people for doing the exact same thing he was doing. So he's a real
Alpha
pinnacle
mode
of morality here. I mean, he's a scumbag, but he's not as egregious as some of these others. Jake Paul.
By the way, I'm actually creating my own crypto pump and dump scheme. I mean cryptocurrency called Papa Coin.
This guy's list of controversies is longer than a fucking Walgreens receipt. Let's see, what has he done? He scammed his young fans multiple times. He was involved in a riot in Arizona. He terrorized his neighbors in LA, and he's been
Yeah, Trisha Bull Carson position is probably like the only one that I kind of disagree with more than anything else in this list. I mean, Carson got fucked, and I just don't think that. I don't think that Dan Tavius is particularly educated on Carson specifically.
accused of SA by multiple different women. I mean, I'm sorry to say it, but this guy's a real jerk. iDubbbz. Somehow his biggest scandal was the fact that his wife does OnlyFans. So what, dude?
Hey. He said the N-word also, so.
Girlfriend and her husband both do OnlyFans. It's really not a big deal.
True.
JonTron. This one.
I feel like I would have put him a little higher just for the N-word stuff in the past. I mean, like, I'm not saying he should get canceled for it, but I feel like, you know, maybe I'm just being a little too insensitive. You know, maybe that's the truth.
Really hurt me, man, because as I've said before, he is my favorite YouTuber. So
I know where JonTron lives, by the way. Not exactly, but I know what state he's been living in. I'll give you a little bit of a story. I was in New Hampshire. And I was actually in New Hampshire visiting my ex's family, and the guy walked up to me. I'm so sorry, I shouldn't be saying this. And we were just talking. He's like, "Oh, you're Papa God, blah, 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 blah." And he's like, "Yeah, JonTron lives in, well, I guess now I already just told you where he was from, around that area." And I was like, "Oh, wow, okay. I won't tell anybody." And then here we are. And, oops. I forgot the town, though, so it's okay. And even if I remembered, I wouldn't tell you guys. So, you know, my bad.
when I saw him on stream saying about,
I didn't dox him. I just gave the state. Besides, I was on the border of New Hampshire and Italy. What's the other one? Georgia. What the fuck state am I thinking of? It's New Hampshire and Maine. There we go.
racist stuff. It really hurt me here in my chest cavity / heart area. I mean, I
think one of the bigger controversies from JonTron is that like he was for a period of time, and he's already moved on from this, but like he was like a race realist. He was like I don't think that black people. He's like I think that white people should like keep to themselves, kind of a deal. And by the way, like he was just being ignorant, or maybe he was talking about immigrants, something like that. And he was like, no, you know what the biggest part was? It was that he was worried that there wasn't gonna be enough white people in America. But like he's since apologized for that and everything. Like, you know, no hate towards that.
His videos, but I don't enjoy it as much. It's kind of like when I found out Owen Wilson is a scumbag who refuses to see his own daughter.
Yeah, it was the craziest debate I've seen. Yeah,
Made me
it was
enjoy
nuts.
Loki less, but you know, what are you gonna do? I'll give him a C since the controversy is mostly
Probably should have popped it up to B here.
died down. PewDiePie. This guy's been involved in more scandals than the freaking CIA. Now, I just want to make it perfectly clear, I don't think he's a racist. He has said racist and anti-Semitic jokes in the past.
Who hasn't, you know? You know what I mean, guys? I say them all the time, and don't throw me in the oven for that one. Probably shouldn't have made that joke, but you know, I get it.
And
Yeah.
I don't want to excuse that, don't get me wrong, but at the same time, I think a lot of it was overblown, and I genuinely do not think he's a bad person. All in all, I'll give him a B because his controversies were so high profile. Lily Singh, she's been criticized for cultural appropriation
I know who that
and
is.
not being able to handle criticism. She's also been criticized for having the worst talk show I've ever seen in my life.
I know
a
who that
talk
is.
show which was recently canceled after its second season, and I think I speak for everybody when I say, how the fuck did it even get a second season?
Hello, my name is Lily, and I ain't a white man. What's up?
That being said, I don't necessarily think she's a bad person, and I think, again, it's trendy to hate on her. I don't think any of her controversies are that bad. I don't like her. I don't like her content
I don't really
or
know
her
who
talk
she
show.
is.
Or really
This is the first one I didn't know who she
but
was.
She's not a bad person. I think she definitely gets too much hate. Ryan from Ryan's World, I heard he pushed a kid off the jungle gym and his
Who's
parents
Ryan?
covered it up.
Who's that?
S. Also, in case you have no critical thinking skills,
Who the fuck?
that was
Who the fuck's
a
Ryan?
joke. Pyrocynical. He's been accused of
Oh,
grooming
yeah.
a 15-year-old girl.
That was-
However,
No, I think it was a 15-year-old boy. No.
it's not definitively known if he knew the age of the person in question.
I don't know. I think he might have known. I think he was like talking to him in like a furry thing. It was a little gross. I think he was 19. They were 15. It was yucky. The kid that does toys. It was kind of gross. But like I would say it's one of those things where it's like, listen, my perspective here is that like a lot of times young people don't seem to understand like the morally correct age range. Legally, a 4-year age gap is acceptable in almost every state. Yes, even California. You guys love to say, no, there's a very harsh law. Shut the fuck up. You don't know what you're talking about. Sorry for being rude, but there's a law that says, like, if you're anywhere from 14 to 17 and you engage with somebody up to 10 years older than you, that the person that you slept with won't be labeled a predator necessarily. It's up to the judge's discretion. I feel like it's the worst Romeo and Juliet law. And so, like, I think that law conflicts with the morality of how I feel society should operate. But because that law exists, I give people that are young like I give them the benefit of the doubt in the sense that once they're exposed for the inappropriate behavior and if they apologize and stop, that's as far as like I feel like it needs to go. Like, okay, you get your one bad shot. You know what I mean? That's the kind of the way that I look at it. So I still think it's gross, especially with like the furry stuff. I think there was diapers involved. Like, bro, what the fuck? You know, honestly, like outside of cancellation, like you go straight to jail. You know what I mean? The furry poop porn. What are you doing? Smelling
also, he's
feet.
A furry, so the combination of those two things put him in A tier. The only reason I'm not putting him in S
think
is
diapers.
because, again, we're not 100% sure if he knew the age of the person he was allegedly grooming. J Station. I mean,
Also, I wouldn't. I don't know if I'd call it grooming. Grooming is like it's not a funny thing, but it's not the same as sexting somebody. Grooming is trying to create like a physical or emotional dependence on you, onto somebody, and like cutting outside ties off, and like that to prep you for like sex or to be manipulated. Basically, I think that is different than just sexting or sleeping with somebody. I think that we kind of throw the name grooming around a lot.
the dude faked his girlfriend's death for YouTube views.
Who's that?
How busted does your brain have
Who
to
do you
be
talk
to
about?
pull off something like that? But I think the bigger issue is that he made the most dog shit content on the entire internet.
Jay, you're turning blue! Oh my god! Bro, I swear you're turning blue right now!
Oh my god, dude, what the frick?
Bro, you're turning...
Wait, I got an idea.
Whoa! Jay! What the... Oh my god, where did Jay go? How did he do that?
But then again,
What the fuck was that?
he didn't hurt anybody, so I don't think he deserves to be super high. I'll put him in B. EDP 445.
Dude, that was kind of cool. I don't know anything about that guy, but I just saw that he ran upstairs really bad. That reminds me of the one guy and his like sister or his girlfriend, like the what's this, the Spanish guy? That's funny.
This man is guilty of loving cupcakes too much, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, true.
S. What did you expect?
I feel like we could have went a little in depth about how EDP literally was trying to groom somebody he thought that was 13 years old. I think 5 or 6 allegations against him. The last one was him trying to talk to a 13-year-old, somebody he thought was 13, and then he did actually try to groom them. He tried to drive a wedge between the young girl, the decoy that he thought was a young girl, and their family. That's like, yeah, it was bad.
Marbles is one of the only
Then he apologized. He was like, "I'm so sorry." And then afterwards, he got out of the situation. He's been trying to basically gaslight people into thinking that he didn't do anything wrong. So
creators to have canceled herself. She said some controversial and offensive things a long time ago, but
Jen
you know
Marbles
what?
is an idiot.
Who hasn't? F.
Jenna Marbles is just dumb. Like, she, like, apologized for killing a fish. Like, that's fucking dumb.
Nikocado Avocado. What's his controversy? Being fat? I don't think that's really a controversy, especially when you take into account that 1 in 5 Americans is obese. Oh, he stalked and harassed the girl? Okay, that's pretty bad, but it's very possible that the girl who accused him of this is lying, especially since there's no pattern of behavior on Nikokado's part, so I'll give him a C for that reason.
I didn't even know that.
More evidence comes
I thought that the
out.
issue was like him and his boyfriend pretend like they're fighting all the time.
Lele Pons. So I respect her for one reason. She made a series about dealing with severe OCD, and I also have severe OCD, so I thought that was really cool. That being said, she still fucking sucks. So the worst thing she's done is she stole her best friend's phone and started deleting her most popular social media posts to sabotage her, and then she blamed the whole thing on being Latina.
And I found out like a month and a half ago that she was deleting all of my successful videos on Instagram and on YouTube.
Who is this person?
And putting my account on private and tagging me in photos. Like, Lele, did you delete my videos?
Amanda Kearney?
Okay.
Cerny?
I'm like, why?
I don't know who that is. Okay.
Why did you do that? And then
all right, this is a lot. All right, come on.
Talk about it, and then she said,
all right. This is all I really listen. We're getting a little too far. This, you know what we have to say.
Shut up, bitch.
You know what I mean? Like this is dragging on too long.
Because she's Latina.
Leafy.
More to him for playing it for so long.
He's a no-chin-having, leprechaun-looking mother sucker who made a career off bullying kids. I mean, other than being just generally a chinless douchebag, he didn't do anything super...
I don't really know too much about Leafy.
...horrendous, so I'll put him in B. James Charles. How many times do I have to tell you? Stop talking to little boys! Now, I'll give James Charles an A. I'm not going to put him in S simply because we don't know for sure that he was specifically targeting underage boys.
I feel like that's a little bit like the James Charles situation to me is very, I don't know. I feel like he probably does deserve an S. If you got David Dobrik in there, you have fucking Carson in there. I mean, at this point, you're kind of your list lacks credibility. But you know, James Charles is somebody who talked to an underage person before, and then he didn't ask age. Apparently, after that, he's like, "I'll always ask age." But then his excuse was he never asked age of these people. And when he was pressed on, well, why didn't you ask the age after you messed up? He was like, well, I was just caught up in the moment. So like, we have somebody who's intentionally not asking age because he's horny. So like, I feel like that's disgusting.
We don't know if he knew their ages, so
we kind of do. He did admittedly seem to know the ages, yeah. And then again, like, this is one of those things. Remember before I said like you get your one pass? James Charles got his one pass when the guy I think was 14 and he was like 19 or 20. And he's like, well, I didn't ask age. And I was like, okay, but now you always have to. You know better. And he even said that he was going to make a habit out of it, and then he skirted on that responsibility. So like, that's one of the problems. And like, I look into a lot of these situations very closely because like this is my job basically. And I feel like some of these are just not super. I don't think that he's super educated on a lot of these situations to the degree that he should be. Yeah, apparently they were all right in the bio, and James just didn't ask.
I'll give him the benefit of the doubt, but he still gets an A for just generally being a douchebag. Philip DeFranco, the only scandal I can remember him being in was the BetterHelp thing where he was promoting like an online counseling site, but I don't think he had any malicious intent. He seems like a pretty good guy, and if he would have known that it was a scam the way it was, I don't think he would have promoted it. He's also been called out for saying offensive things back in his younger days when he first started YouTube, so for that he deserves an S, because none of us, as we all know, have said offensive things when we were young.
He should put his head down here. It would have been a lot easier to see what he's talking about.
2988. So I've never really been a fan of his. I'm not familiar with his content or anything. The general consensus I've been getting is that his controversialness... Is that a word? It stems from him playing the victim and not taking accountability for his own actions and having some pretty terrible takes on certain things. But again, having shitty opinions does not make for good controversy. Oh, and I almost forgot, he tried to shoot somebody, so I'll put him at C. Well, I think that's it.
It was pretty badass when he tried to shoot that guy. You know, that situation was fucked up. That guy came to his house and threatened him, honestly. And he shot a warning shot in the air. And that's, like, really irresponsible. And that's why Boogie got arrested.
Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know in the comments what you think of my choices. And as always, don't forget to like and subscribe.
All right. Then your comments like your choices. Fuck you. Fuck your choices. Carson is... There we go. Fuck your choices. Carson is innocent. That's what we're going to say. Boom, give myself a like. Everybody go like them.
Thank you guys. Later.
Fuck you, bitch. All right, that was interesting.